When did you decide, you know what, I'm going to stay here for a while and then see where it goes?
You feel you get like this third perspective, right? Because you're not exactly in, you're not exactly out. You have a different kind of acceptance. We don't care what you do, but be the best. So if it's going to be teacher, garbage person, whatever it is, you better be the best.
So before you started building design, who were you as a young creative, like yourself?
Like, it was a crazy success. I didn't know how to manage that success is the problem. Creativity alone is not going to pay the bills. What cost more, the miss or the what if?
Hello everyone, welcome to UC, Unfiltered Culture, where we talk about experiences, people's journey that change our life. So we have another guest. So thank you for coming, Metasebia. So I'm going to give you the stage, introduce yourself and let us know who you are.
Thank you. My name is Metasebia Yosef. Currently I'm the founder and chief architect of Addis Futures Lab.
Okay. What else do you do?
Well, I've done a lot of things. I think you know, Aman. So I've been here in Addis over 10 years, back and forth. Founder of Design Week Addis Ababa. Just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. You were there.
Nice.
Co-founder of Dink TV, the infamous latte show.
I like that, by the way. It's very funny. Like, especially back in Germany, we always open it Sundays or anyways, like when we find new generation.
Yes, definitely youth focused.
You got them.
And now with Addis Futures Lab, we're working on a couple different startups and ventures. So a lot of different things.
All right. So I'm going to take you back, like any other guests I'm doing with them, is I'm going to take you back to your childhood. Tell me about it. Where were you born? Where you grew up? And what brings you back to Addis?
Childhood, I was born and raised in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Obviously, my parents immigrated from Ethiopia. And the normal, immigrant lifestyle, they're hustling and trying to balance culture, the Western culture for their kids, but also, keeping the roots strong.
Okay.
I think they did a good job. Obviously, I'm here
back in your country.
Committed to Africa. So just growing up, I had a funny name for everybody that was there. It was funny. Here, it's very normal.
What is this?
When people say, Metasebia, how do you say it? How do you pronounce it? Metamorphosis? Is it meta this, meta that? So, it was an interesting, upbringing and conversation starter. And it learns, you learn the good and the bad of being kind of an outsider.
Yeah, obviously. How was that for you? Like, especially, you're not exactly the same as the others when you live abroad. So how was the school life?
School life was good. Again, you feel you get like this third perspective, right? Because you're not exactly in, you're not exactly out. You have a different kind of acceptance. So I would say it was good. I think it was awkward for us growing up because you're like, I want to be the same like everybody else. Yeah. And then when you grow up, you kind of appreciate your difference,
Okay. So how did, parents always, when they immigrate to another country, it's always a bit difficult to adjust, and then they see their children go to school and they want to become something and they can be proud of them. How was the switch for you and your parents when you started, like, okay, you know what, I know what I'm going to do? How did they take it?
I think their attitude was always, we don't really mind what you do, which was very different at the time, from most, I would say, Ethiopian or Habesha parents. Everybody kind of wants you to be in secure, well-paying jobs. Yeah, it's like doctor, engineer, it's kind of a short list. They always kind of instilled in me, like, we don't care what you do, but be the best. Okay. So if it's going to be teacher, garbage person, whatever it is, you better be the best.
Okay, when did you start coming to Addis or to Ethiopia?
My parents divorced when I was young, and my dad moved to Ethiopia. So we used to spend summers to stay with him. And that's when we kind of slowly started getting introduced. And it wasn't as fancy as it is now. So it was definitely an experience.
How, when you were like when you come back first, like it's the first time you're coming to Addis or to Ethiopia, do you remember it, how it was?
Absolutely. You never forget it because it was like going to another planet. So it's like, you're not going to forget that experience. But it was amazing. I mean, you know, all the traditions, all the cultural norms, everything is different. Everything is
I'm
totally
asking
different.
you that because a lot of people who were not born in Addis, they don't enjoy their first time. And then when they come the second time, they kind of interact better. But I always say, whenever you go to a new country, it depends who you're meeting up, who's showing you around.
True.
That makes it a bit easier for you.
Yeah.
I mean, with your dad coming back with you, and I think it's more easier for you to like adjust and everything.
Definitely. I mean, we were well cared for. You know, we felt safe. And obviously we were getting to explore in safe ways.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that definitely impacts the way you do experience any culture or any country for the first time. It's like, who do I have on the ground?
Okay. So coming back to Addis and going back and forth a bit, when did you decide, you know what, I'm going to stay here for a while?
Oh, yeah.
And then see where it goes?
It has to be after I graduated. No, actually before I graduated. So I was wanting to go back to Addis, and I had arranged through my college, I was in my last year of university.
Exchange student kind of situation?
Yeah, like a study abroad, internship, externship kind of situation. And I just had to write a big thesis paper, deep research. And so I was studying art history at the time, so I was working at Sidiskilo, at the Institute of Ethiopian Studies at the university. So I'm kind of on campus every day. I have a job. I'm doing deep archival research and all this stuff. And so that year abroad, or like here, is when I got to, you know, it's different from just a month vacation.
Obviously.
A year, you're really like living, you're working, you're on the schedule of everybody else. You're doing transport, you're hustling for yourself.
After 3 months, you already like, you become the country, I think.
And my sister and I were working at the university, and we were taking public transportation. You know, we were not, my dad was like, just go, you know, you want to be here, feel like what it is, what it's really like. Okay. So we did. And so we were getting demos and salary. We were, you know, negotiating these things. And so after that year, I really got the real taste, and it let me know, can I handle this or can I not? And I enjoyed it even more.
Okay. So obviously, I mean, did you work in DC before coming here?
I did, yeah.
Because I'm asking, work life in DC or abroad, and are these two different things?
So funny thing, my first real job, because the university one was more of like a research, you know, I was like a university student. My first real job was consulting for, it was a government position as a consultant. And so when you get a government job in the States, it's like really top tier work. Like people were like, oh, mama made it. Because the building is amazing, the work is amazing, it's well paid, everything is the best. It was kind of the opposite experience when I came here. And it's like now, you know, buildings are trying to be more into architecture, into design, more high end. Then it was it was like the lowest experience. Yeah. So that was very shocking to me to see something so important be at that level. But again, a wonderful learning experience, because, you know, you get to see the inner workings, you get to see real people. You know, I think the government job is very, you know, everyday kind of job. So I got to see what people were making salary-wise, how people were really living, and it was very eye-opening.
So yeah, you could just say, okay, you know what, this is something I can continue, or you'd be like, this might be something I should not do.
I mean, I was appreciative of being able to contribute. Okay. Because, you know, I'm coming from the West. I have certain things I can contribute, but then also certain things I can learn from. Yeah. So I'm gonna make the most out of any situation. So.
Nice. I'm here for learning kind of situation.
Exactly.
So I saw on your Instagram, you do like author, you write, I think. What is the biggest thing you have written?
So when my dad realized, oh, she's serious about living here, he kind of said, he tried to kick me out and say, you can come and live, but you have to get your master's.
Okay.
So I went back to go get my master's. And when I finished my research for my master's, I had written a book on coffee. Okay. And I'm a lot older than you guys. When I was coming up during that time, Ethiopia was not established as the birthplace of coffee.
Yeah, okay.
So there was still a debate about that. And so I wanted to add my research and this book to kind of say, no, this is us. We're the origin story, and kind of add that to, you know, the cultural context at the time. So I wrote the book, and I think that was one of the biggest things that I've written so far. Since then, I've done a lot of articles, you know, Substack, etc.
Okay. So when did you first realize you were into like design and like building something creative?
I think I've always been creative. My mom is super creative. I come from a creative kind of artistic family or background, but I didn't come thinking, oh, I'm going to do this design week or support the creative economy. It kind of was just needed. So when I was working at the Institute of Ethiopian Studies, it was like working with Smithsonian level artifacts. I mean, the cultural heritage and the stuff that we have here is just mind blowing.
Yeah.
But the way those artifacts were being cared for was something totally different.
Yeah.
So it kind of broke my heart, and I was like, well, why is our biggest assets, our biggest heritage things being treated this way? And it was the kind of the mindset of about the creative and the arts. It's like kind of low on the list of needs and necessities at the time. It was.
Okay, that gives you a bit of like, okay, you know what, I have to change this.
We have to change this mindset. And how are we going to change this? It's through some type of community platform. And that's how Design Week was born.
So before I go back to Design Week, moving back and forth, like living in DC and ETO, what influenced you specifically the most to do what you do today?
I mean, I've always been kind of working in the creative sector. So my background, I studied art history when I was working at the museum. And I thought I'd be like in a museum, gallery girl, nagar. And then when I started, actually after I graduated, it was the 2008 financial crisis.
Okay.
I'm aging myself again. 2008 financial crisis, and there was literally no work.
Okay.
And so when I came and I was trying to kind of hustle and find work, nobody really understood like what a art history degree was. So I had to find a way to use this kind of creative background in a way that I could monetize.
Okay.
So the natural shift was, marketing communications. So that's how I kind of shifted into that.
So your degree was like ahead of time anyways, back in the days.
I don't know about that, but yeah. So marketing communications. And so I've always kind of, even when I was in DC, I'm working kind of events, marketing, branding, communications, those kind of things. And then when I started coming back here, I figured out how to plug those. They were very needed. They still are, obviously.
Okay. So before you started building Design Week, all the companies or all the things you started or creative things, who were you as a young creative, like yourself?
As a young creative during that time, I think like most young people, just very uncertain. You have these visions or these goals, but you don't know, is it going to work out for me? Is this really the path?
Yeah.
Should I be focused more on the arts or the money? Where left, right, up, down, But I think the main thing that I just focused on was just keeping it moving. Okay. So the progression rather than the direction so much.
So you were always into building or doing like, I would say, artistic things like designing.
I think I probably started claiming being an entrepreneur in the last 5-ish years.
Okay.
But I always knew I was creating creative, creating this kind of company, this kind of brand, this kind of project. And then once you start doing that, for several years, you're like, okay, I guess I am an entrepreneur. I guess I am a builder.
Okay. So what was the first company you created? Or you opened, or how do you say it? Is it created, right? Like
Yeah.
what was the first one?
My first ever was a fashion design company,
Okay.
and that was in DC. And it was also very ahead of its time. And we were doing like African print.
Okay.
And this was like so early that people were like losing their minds for it. But we had like no supply chain. We had no ways to get it. It was just very, yeah.
How did that work?
We put on a fashion show, but at the same time, because I didn't have any business experience, we launched a collection that people really wanted, but we really didn't have an idea of how to fulfill these orders. I mean, it was like really, really early, yeah.
Okay.
So that was the first. It was in fashion.
And how is that? The first one is always, I mean, I don't know how other people do, but the first company you build never survives. How was that with yours?
But the funny thing is, it was like it was a crazy success, is what I was saying. Again, I didn't know how to manage that success is the problem. And so, I needed the 101 of business.
Okay, like starting, you already like started
the
big?
idea was solid.
The idea
was solid, but at the same time, I think with a lot of creatives now are understanding creativity alone is not going to pay the bills.
Obviously.
I have to manage my clients, I have to manage delivery, customer satisfaction, so many things.
Especially outside of Ethiopia, customer service.
No, inside too. No, listen, the standards are becoming the same now. So there's no more good enough for Ethiopia. I keep my standards the same no matter where I am in the world.
I mean, of course, now the client base also changes.
The client base, but also when you think about how everyone who has access to data in their phone or TikTok or whatever, they're getting exposed to so much. So, and we're all getting exposed to those things, no matter if you say the algorithm is making things specific. Okay. So people's like taste level is also getting more, sophisticated.
Interesting. So let's come back to your founding story. What shaped the idea of Design Week?
I just kept seeing really amazing creative talents. I mean, VFX, photography, fashion, tech, so many different industries, and I kept seeing super creative talent. Yeah. And when I would work on projects, people would say, "Oh, we're going to get a designer from abroad." And I'm like, why? You're laughing now, but then that was the standard.
Really?
For projects to say that they were like a premier or top tier project, that was a bragging thing to say, "Oh, I'm going to bring a designer from abroad, a graphic designer from abroad, website from abroad." And I'd be like, why? There's amazing talent right here, right now. So even to kind of showcase what was available, I created Design Week so that we had this platform where all of those different sectors, from tech, fashion, visual communication, graphic design, all of the different formats of creative sector could come together one night and see everybody at the same time. Because a lot of times you see these events, it's like the architecture event just for the architect, the tech one just for the tech. So again, the community is there, but they're separated. So I think that kind of blew people's mind when they see everything, and then they start cross collaborating. Oh, I need a website. Do you have photography? And then, oh, I need clothes. Do you need this? So that community started to build up.
Okay, so you're trying to close the gap between all different spaces just to create in one place.
Yeah.
So that is what Design Week means for you, creating space for
the creative sector, and then also showing the power of the creative economy, right? Which is, I think is now where I'm focused now for like Addis Futures Lab. Yeah. We've established the creative sector works. We've established it looks good, but now we have to be creative in the impact we create, in the type of, services and programs we design. We have to create wealth.
I see. So when we come to challenges and like failures or like success, what was the biggest challenge for you, like establishing Design Week, and Addis especially? Again,
people's perception of what design is. Yeah. So I used to go in, in the States when we did something similar, this kind of big platform is called Art All Night, which the DC government took over. I was expecting something similar naively, that the government will take over this big platform that is connected to tourism, it's connected to so many things, and that never happened. 10 years still waiting for that. Nothing has happened. But one of the hardest things was kind of trying to fundraise for it year after year. So I would go into these different brand meetings and pitches, and I'm saying, oh, Design Week, we need this and that. And they're like, oh, well, our brand doesn't have anything to do with design. I'm like, your logo, your chair, your pen, your clothes, everything is connected to this. So getting people's mindset changing about what even design is and how it impacts them was my 101 work.
Okay.
But 10 years later, fast forward, I mean, obviously I'm not going to take complete credit for all of that, but when I go into anywhere, or, you can be in the taxi and somebody's like, send the design over. Like, the word design
like,
is known now.
Yeah.
So that is huge. That helps, get to the next level of the conversation.
So, at what point people start taking your design week seriously? When was the moment they realized, okay, you know what, she might be on something?
The first year.
Really?
I'm telling you, I mean, there was alignment. And so we got invited to Dubai for the next year.
Interesting.
Yeah, as soon as we came on the scene, Dubai was like, oh, there's a design week in Addis. Bring 2 designers. And they funded us to come. So that was 2015 we started designing. 2016 we were in Dubai. So again, the ideas align. It's about managing them in the right way, and that journey is always interesting.
Okay, so tell us about your other projects. I mean, Design Week is getting bigger. I've been to your events. It was 10 years anniversary.
10-year anniversary. Yeah,
was amazing.
Thank you.
Really good job. And what about the other projects? I mean, if you build such a big community, you won't have much time for other things. How do you manage that?
It's tough. I think I'm getting better at it now. Because when I as a creative, when you come up with an idea, it's like your baby, you're attending to it, or you're like deep in love with this project, and it can be all consuming. So now, as I've gotten older, I've gotten better at balancing. I have 2 kids, I have a husband, I have a family. So I try to be better about balancing the time. It can be difficult.
Okay.
But other projects, I would say, I'm looking at the book again.
Okay.
So the book may have a relaunch coming up.
Okay.
Dink, I built that, and that was very much all-consuming for the past 3 years.
I'll come to that one. Okay, go on.
And then the latest one is, Addis Futures Lab. And again, I have smaller startup projects, because now I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing as far as the ideas, but now we have to make sure that they're solid, these business things that can actually monetize in a big way.
Okay. I mean, whenever I have people on the pod and they announce their projects and everything, and I always tell them, you know what, I'm going to check back on you and see how far you've come.
Okay.
So obviously I will do the same.
Yes.
But when we come back to your second project, like Dink TV, how did that happen? Because you took off with the young generation immediately. So maybe give us insight of that.
Yeah, so Dink came about. I was really frustrated with Design Week. I was I think it was like 7 years in or 8 years in, and I was frustrated with trying to fundraise, and I just didn't have the energy at the moment. And my friend and co-founder Bobby Yadago Abisalom, he was a big Design Week fan. He's been there from the beginning, and I was telling him, I'm done with Design Week. I don't have the energy. And he's like, oh, let me support you. Let me invest in Design Week. And so I thought about it, and I love he's also very creative, but I was like, I don't feel like this aligns with your brand and the empire that you're building. So I came up with Dink because he's very much into Hollywood films. He's made a movie, and I was like, why don't we can still root it in the Design Week concept, which is all these different sectors and youth focused.
Okay.
So it was born, and he's, I kind of pitched it to him. He's like, I don't really get it, but I like it. And he just took a chance on it. So I made it happen.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's all happening in YouTube, right?
Yes,
You have
digital
YouTube
first.
channel.
Digital
Okay.
first, mobile first. I've left. I'm still a shareholder, but I've left the company. They could take it into that TV direction or not.
Okay.
But it was always a digital first, mobile first company, because for me, it's like the youth, we're on our phones.
Yeah, obviously.
So we're not going to sit at home and catch a certain show at a certain time. It could be on while we're home, but we're mobile first.
Interesting. So you have obviously the young generation and older generation as well. So what is your next goal? Because you all pretty much covered almost everybody. What's gonna be your next?
So the next move might be the best move. We'll see. But so I mean, I think the through line for all of my different projects is it's culturally focused. There's creativity there. I've also had a stint in financial and technology. That I do have a background in technology. So this next move that I'm focused on is creating work and opportunities through our phone. So again, still that mobile first digital side.
I see.
So we have two projects that we're incubating. One is a financial tool for women, youth, older people as well.
Okay.
And then the other one is working through AI. So people using their phones so they can make money through AI. So those are the two projects I'm kind of excited about, because it's really future focused, youth focused. Definitely got to be ahead of the curve. So. And
what do you think the challenge is going to be for that?
The challenge is always going to be when you're doing something new, especially in Ethiopia, doing something new is always first mindset. Just like when we were teaching people, this is design.
Yeah.
So it's a new lexicon, a new vocabulary has to be learned. A new way of working is being learned. On your phone, it's going to be different.
So, obviously, I mean, acceptance is always a bit of far-fetched at this point, because people always, what they don't know, they get scared.
Yeah.
So until they catch on, it might take you, like you said, with Design Week. But
luckily, because I think it's because it's focused on making money.
Yeah.
I feel like people will want to learn whatever's going on. Okay, show me, let me do it.
Yeah.
Teach me. So
obviously, if it's involving getting something for them,
incentivized, if it's lucrative, then people will be interested, and that's what we're hoping for.
Okay. So with all companies you have, either you're managing them or you're shareholder, what do you think you're going with the companies the next 5 to 10 years?
What do you mean?
Where are you going with it? Like, what is you created jobs, you created opportunities for people. What is going to be the next step are you going to be still managing those companies, or do you want to be like, you know what, I'm going to sit back and watch the young generation build?
Yeah, I think this next one is going to allow me to scale more.
Okay.
So reach more people, create more impact, create more jobs, create more opportunities for earning. But then I shouldn't have to be, pushing it along, because that's what the beauty of the technology side.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to do this, even wider than East Africa. So like even Africa wide. Because again, Africa is the future. The youth is the future. So that's where I want to be.
Okay. So when we talk about the culture side of all the work and projects we do, what is going to be your point of view, like when you project either Sling TV, all the projects you have? What are you trying to show, not for Ethiopians, but for outside people? What do you want them to see?
I mean, just the beauty of our culture, how inspiring the youth is, because, the way that they're thinking is kind of more hopeful. Mm. And, the possibilities that we have obviously we have our issues and there's problems, but that's everywhere in the world is having issues and problems. So I think that's why I've always gravitated towards creativity, because it's thinking more how do we problem solve? How do we create a solution?
Okay. How do you balance those, like managing the company, building new stuff, thinking of new ideas, and having 2 kids at home, husband? How do you manage all that in a day? Like you have 24 hours and then...
They say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So everything is one thing at a time, one day at a time.
Okay.
So if I think of it like a big mountain, it can be a little bit overwhelming.
Okay.
But if we kind of take it down...
Step by step.
Yeah. That's the only way I can, at least from my brain.
Okay. So when it comes to learning curve for yourself, I mean, you never stop learning. So what was the, I don't want to say brutal, but like the hardest lesson you learned building these companies or all these projects you have?
The hardest lesson, I think I'm still exploring how best to inspire people to kind of be their best selves or give their best effort to things is probably an ongoing lesson, because I feel like there's so much work to be done, but getting the energy from people to put that effort in is always a challenge, I think, and to keep people still motivated, because they may have so many things going on in their lives. So you're asking them to forget that, be focused on this thing and push it to the next level, and that's not always easy for people either. So finding that balance, I think.
Okay. And what do you think people outside of Africa or in Ethiopia misunderstood about creatives in Africa or founders
not Ethiopians, like outside of Ethiopia?
Misunderstand the matter. What is the misunderstanding about our, like us creatives or founders in Ethiopia and or in Africa? What do you think is that?
I think a lot of times what I notice is people just assume that we're not up to date on the latest. Like people are up to date on the latest trend, the latest tech. They're jailbreaking it, they're doing testing it out. But if it's out, they're gonna know about it. And I feel like a lot of times with the big brands, Adobe, it could be Web3, it could be financial services, it could be whatever. The youth and Africa is always getting kind of overlooked. Okay,
I understand. So when it comes to your mindset, your mental health, or your health in general, how do you keep yourself hopeful in such difficult times? I mean, difficult times comes up and down. So how do you keep yourself hopeful?
I just try to focus on what's in my power.
Okay.
So like, nice. Try to get a workout in, try to get this in, try to make each day whatever I can control and the best of it. I focus on that. And then, take your small wins, reflect on the day. This was good, this was not so good. I'll try to do better on this tomorrow.
Okay. So tell me something that you did not calculate it in your journey. Like you say, you know what, I planned, I have the ideas and stuff, but something unexpected happened and you'd be like, oh, no, this is not what I expected. So is there something, it doesn't matter if it's small or big, is there something unexpected happens that you say, okay, I'm going to step back, think about it and execute it better?
Like, work-wise? I mean, everything, honestly. What I didn't expect to get into media, even though I studied media. Studying it and doing it is always, different, theory and practice is always different. Didn't expect to get into media. That was definitely learning through every show, through everything we shot. Also, the latte, bringing reality TV to Ethiopia.
That was actually funny. I didn't expect that. I didn't know that something happens or exists, but I really appreciated that you guys took that idea and then just...
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is I get so many different reactions no matter different rooms I sit in. So it could be positive, it could be negative, it could be appreciative. But it was definitely a learning lesson. And it was, I'm just so grateful to have that opportunity and to work with the cast and the production, because we created something that reached, like I created impact and reached really diaspora all over the world.
Nice. I mean, you spoke to a lot of diasporas.
No,
With the-
local
with
too,
the-
though. I'll be like in the randomest meetings and people are like, so are they together? And
Yeah.
I'm like, can we focus on this
That's
meeting?
actually, yeah. You guys bringing out the updates after that, or is it just okay? Because that was like, I was watching it with my friends back, and I saw it and I showed them, what is this? It's like, yeah, this is dating show thingy. Like they have this, and they bring, and it's like, wait, what? And there's some we will literally like watch the whole, and there's some be like, okay, no, this is
crazy.
This is crazy. But I
A lot of
understand the
emotions,
difference.
a lot of feelings.
But it makes sense to open new doors, to see how to show the world what we can do or what's possible.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, to show the world, but also show ourselves, right?
Yeah. I mean, we have to
So-
break sometimes the culture and show, hey, this is new ways.
I mean, the culture, the funny thing is we always have this debate. People will debate this with me. And I'm like, the culture was already there if you open TikTok. Okay. When I
Obviously.
opened TikTok, it was way worse than what we were producing. So
That's
the
what I'm
culture
saying.
was already there, but I was looking for content that would bring my two worlds together. So people from abroad, but also locally, somehow we can meet in the middle and enjoy something together.
Okay. So I'm going to be a bit deeper into yourself now.
Oh, okay.
What I mean, what are you currently learning about yourself?
About myself?
Yeah.
I'm learning that, you know, I'm very multidisciplinary, multidimensional kind of creative, and I always have to focus on being focused.
Okay.
So focusing my energy, you know, I always want to help people, give ideas, different kinds of things, but I kind of have to work on, I'm learning about focusing.
Okay. What does scare you and excite you at the same time?
Scare me and excite me. I mean, any new project is scary and exciting because I'm just, you know, I'm a go-getter. I'm ambitious. So I really wanted, no matter what I do, I wanted to be the best. I guess that's that origin story. The parents said, do whatever, but be the best. I'm always scared because you want it to be the best, but also excited. I wouldn't do it if I wasn't excited.
Okay. Now looking back all this time and looking back to your parents, what do you think they think about who you become today?
I don't know. I've never asked them. I guess they're
You did
proud.
what you did best, so I think.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I don't know. Honestly,
You
I should
should
ask them.
Yeah, next time I will ask you again.
Yeah. With the ketchup.
So, I mean, you created so much for the young generation. I mean, now you have to build on that because everybody has access to either phone, laptop, iPad, whatever. And if the whole journey, showing and creating, are you also trying to teach the young generation to become who they should become and not being afraid of it, and show them the way how to be successful and what they want to be?
Yeah, I mean, for this next chapter, I definitely want to, that's what I'm kind of shifting towards, is balancing the creative, but with the business side. And then also kind of, also a bit of the ethical side too, because, you know, the way the world is transitioning now, it's a time for new ideas, new ways of working, new types of collaborations. So, yeah.
I mean, you also have kids, so you have to be
Exactly.
teaching
What
your
are we
kids.
leaving them?
So, I mean, what kind of mom are you?
You gotta ask them. I don't know. I'm pretty strict, honestly. I'm not playing around too much. I do joke.
Okay.
And we have jokes, but I'm also kind of
Serious
firm.
things.
Yeah, a little bit serious.
So they're going to school here?
Yeah. Yeah, they're
serious
going
on school.
I'm serious on school.
Okay. What is okay, let me what do you want your kids to become?
Again, I don't have they have to be this thing, but I think I'm going to keep be the best. But also I think the be the best will be different because it'll be about what's best to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So like when we were growing up, there was definitely a best number one person. I think for their time, it's going to be about them defining what that means to them.
Are you thinking, how old kids?
They are 8 and 6.
8 and 6. Are you thinking of taking them to DC and like stay there for a while? Or
Yeah, we travel back and forth.
Okay.
Yes.
They don't go to school there. Are you thinking of taking them to school there?
I think
Just
at
to
some
see?
point we may, but it'll be up to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's good to see what you've seen.
Yeah.
And then they can decide what they want to be. Okay. So I'm going to give you an open-minded question that you can ask yourself.
Okay.
What do you want to achieve for your like kids and husband and for your generation?
For my generation, I think it's what I'm building now, which is trying to create opportunities for, job creation, but also, financial inclusion. These are really transformative kind of ideas.
Yeah.
Before it was like, okay, the creative sector and the power of the creative economy.
Yeah.
So, I think 10 years later, Addis is looking really...
It's changing already. So
and interior design, fashion design, photography, graphics, everything is coming up. But at the same time, the economic impact, I'm not really seeing and feeling it. And I hear just so much complaint. So we have to use our creativity to create impact, positive impact. So that's going to be my biggest challenge, but I think also biggest legacy if it works out.
Nice. Interesting. Okay.
So far, though, the scoreboard is good.
It's going good. Okay. When you leave your house, go to your office, what kind of boss are you? Or like chief?
What kind of boss?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a bad question. Because, different people will have... Everyone has a different... Just how we have a different learning style.
Okay.
People have a different working style. And my working style, but also my boss style, I'm not a babysitter.
Obviously.
I kind of just communicate what I want, what I need, what we're looking for, what our targets are, and then it's up to you to
execute.
And so that is my style, and that's the kind of...
And how's that working?
You win some, you lose some.
Okay, I see. So we are reaching the end, a little bit of close. I always say...
This is good, yeah.
Yeah, I always say I don't want to end this because the conversation keeps flowing. But before we do, I will ask you again, what is the immediate, like not today, not tomorrow, but maybe a month? What is the immediate goal that you're going to achieve?
The immediate goal is we're launching, which I told you I'm launching.
Obviously.
So we're launching the pilot program for this kind of earning through your phone and the financial inclusion, the AI thing. So I think we're going to post either the link or the QR code somewhere, either in the video or in the YouTube description. And so we're looking for the first pilot cohort of people to try to earn through their phone. So if people can sign up if they're interested in being on that next wave. So that's my immediate win.
Like, when is the launch going to be?
The launch is now. Today. We just launched.
Okay, good. Guys, make sure to check it out. And if you leave like one message for the next generation, what would that be? Either creative or anybody who wants to build something out of them or out of themselves. So
I think this is something I also tell myself, which is create things you wish existed. So that's that. Work on that. Okay, Metasebia, very, very, very much appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.
Here. And for you guys as well, thank you for, of course, listening and watching. And on this podcast, we have One Culture. Any guest who come here, write a question for the next guest without knowing who the guest will be. So we have one question here for you. You will read, answer, and then write one of your own question on the book
for the next guest.
For the next guest. All right. So.
Oh, so I do it privately.
No, you can write privately, but you can read the question.
Okay.
Out loud. Don't say the name. Just read it and then answer the question however you like.
This is this last one right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't mind the handwriting. Everybody write their own writing. So.
Oh, this is a good one, actually.
Yeah.
Who is this? What cost more, the miss or the what if?
Yeah.
Definitely the what if is always going to cost more.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do they say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Like whenever you don't ask, it's always no.
Yeah.
If you do ask, it's 50-50. So.
Yep. Or what is it? يتزقف. مداني تنايجنجم.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm gonna swing every single time.
Okay.
That's my
Doesn't
answer.
matter if it's swinging and
I'm
miss.
gonna take my shot every single time.
All
so
right.
I don't mind the misses.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Do you
for
have
having
any
me.
final thoughts you want to leave us here
No,
with?
this is so good.
Yep. Okay. All right, guys. I really appreciate for you watching and listening. You will find the podcast on Spotify and YouTube. And from Metasebia, very much. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it
you.
for your time.
Thank you
I
for
know
having
your busy
me.
schedule, but I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Shi.
See you next time. Peace.